Good evening. It's me once again, Thor. Thor Jensen, another stranger on the internet that plays guitar, telling you things that maybe you don't care about. I play guitar, I sing songs, I play guitar for other people, I sing my own songs, I write songs, I play music for a living. I'm a little sick today, so I haven't really been doing much playing. But I thought about making a video doing the same thing that everyone else seems to do. That you, at least personally, I want to think that I don't care about that, but I still watch it anyway, and then I'm really into it, which is gear stuff. I like knowing about gear. I like knowing how to use gear. I like knowing what I might need, knowing what I don't need. That said, I think maybe that leads me to admitting that I like gear. I want to say that I don't. I want to say I'm too cool for it, but come on, it's cool. This stuff is cool. That said, I want to show you my little pedal board that I use for basically everything. Admittedly, I play more acoustic guitar than electric guitar these days, but electric guitar has been a big part of my life for a long time, and I still do it. And this pedal board is like a good little representation of everything I've come to realize that I like to use. The first and foremost thing that I feel is that the best gear is gear that you know, and gear you're familiar with and know how to use. So a few things on this board are somewhat new, but only in brand. As far as the style of pedal and what it does and all that stuff, it's all very similar to things I've used in the past. A couple things that I've had for a long time, a couple of pretty new things, and a couple of band-aids. So this is what I got. It's very small, it's very basic. I can do everything that I need to do with this. I can feel the most like myself with this. In a perfect world, it would be even smaller, but I've learned that I need a certain amount of certain things. For instance, overdrives. So basically, I have this little junction box up top, and that's really just because on stage I hate having a cord in one side and out the other. And this is a pretty recent thing, but I'm pretty into it. It's made by a company called Bright Onion Pedals. Bright Onion Effects, Bright Onion. They're in Brighton, England. And it also allows me, sometimes I like to use a volume pedal. Specifically, I only ever use it with slide, but I don't use it enough to keep it on the board all the time. So this allows me to insert a volume pedal after the drives and before the spacey sounds. So it goes in here, goes to a tuner, which I like this one because it's a very fast and reactive strobe tuner, or when it's in strobe mode. And then from there, these three pedals, these three drives / boosts, the gain stages, I can move them around. They don't always stay in this order necessarily. Right now, it goes from the MXR Timmy to the exotic, the pedal that's really hard to film because it's like a mirror. Exotic RC Booster, and then Mad Professor Royal Blue. But a lot of times this will go last. I find out when I get to the gig, to be honest with you. I bought this RC Booster mostly to use for backline stuff. I typically prefer smaller amps. So if I show up and there's a backline and it's like a twin, I don't play loud music. So it's difficult for me to really get into a vibe with a twin, you know, at least for the music that I normally play. So an RC Booster, give it a little bit of juice so it feels more like a smaller amp. And I'm not even talking like a lot of drive, just, I don't know, a little bit more saturation, still clean sound. And not even that now ubiquitous term, edge of breakup. I don't like that term for some reason, that bugs me. But I use that. Typically these days here at home, I've really just been using this. I really, really like it. It's a somewhat new pedal for me. With a Telecaster, I like to turn both gain stages on and just kind of leave it there. I think it sounds really great. Uh, the Timmy, this is I've had two of these. I love this pedal, and I've had a Paul Cochran Timmy as well, and I think this one is just fantastic. It can do whatever you want. And then Royal Blue by Mad Professor. I bought this, I guess I've had this for a couple of years now, and it's proven to be outstanding, from like either a barely there overdrive to like full on, almost close to fuzzy sort of thing. And I typically run one overdrive. I oftentimes will have a boost, like instead of this. This is acting as a boost right now, but I'll have a heavier overdrive, boost, lighter overdrive. That just seems to have been what's worked for me. Whether I want to make this one louder or make this one dirtier, you know, using the boost a la like that. And then I go, this is the greatest pedal that I've ever owned in my life, and I will forever have one. El Capistan by Strymon. Can you see the lettering? There it is. El Capistan. I got to do a record once. It was a 7-piece jazz band, straight to tape. And the engineer asked if I wanted some slap echo. And I said I didn't want any post effects. And he said, no, I mean like a real tape echo. So I got to go through a reel-to-reel, and it was the coolest thing in the world. And that session ended, and I immediately went out and tried every single tape delay pedal on the market, and you just can't beat this one. And you can get a little weird with it, and I like it a lot. It's the best. I'm not a big delay person, but this one has proven to just be outstanding. And then the Hydra by Keeley, the tremolo and reverb. Honestly, I've used a Flint by Strymon for a long time, but this one's just smaller and it fit on the board. And the reverb just stays on all the time anyway. Out of the 3 amps I own, only one of them has reverb. And I, for a lot of years, just had amps that didn't have either working reverb or reverb at all. Not out of choice, just like whatever I could get, you know? So I just have always used the pedal reverb. And then the EQ pedal is, again, it's another backline fixer. I only have it on here in case something sounds funky. It's just like if I can't get the amp to sound right, can't get my sound right, then I'll just mess with the EQ here. If you don't like the way you sound on a gig, then you won't play music that night, because you'll be thinking about how you sound the entire night, and you'll be fighting your instrument and fighting your rig, and then music doesn't happen. And what's the point of that? We're here to play music. So that's all that's there for. I don't touch it otherwise. And then out there again. It's very simple. It's very basic. I've had this same pedal train Metro 16 for a bunch of years now, and it's seen a lot of different stuff. I've even had the same power supply attached to the bottom of it. One spot CS6 for ages. No writing left on the bottom because I've had it for so long. It's great. It's small. It does everything I need. I've attempted to make like big boards before. In fact, I own a larger board down there. And when I go out and tour with Postmodern Jukebox, I use a bigger board because that covers both electric and acoustic. So that's that. And when I get that together, because I go out with them in about a month and a half. So as I get closer to that tour and I put that board together, I will share it with you. I don't own that many pedals though, so a lot of the pedals that are on here come off and go onto that. In a perfect world, this would just sit here and I'd have a duplicate of everything, but, well, the world's expensive, and that's not happening. Anyway, that's my stuff. That's at least one part of it. I'm currently I'm waiting on a piece of kit for my acoustic rig, which again, I use more often these days. But I don't have that piece of kit yet. It's coming from the States, and I'll have it in a couple of weeks. And I'm very excited. That's going to be a bit of a game changer. And there's a reason for that change, which I guess I'll talk about then. I'll talk about another time soon. I'll probably talk about gear again with you. You know, we all like stuff. We all like gear. So, yeah, another time I'll talk about amps. But right now it's just this little thing. Just a quick little video to talk about nerdy stuff. So, that's it. I will talk to you guys another time. Enjoy yourselves.